You can't sit here, scum. The cafeteria went dead silent when those words rang out. A pale-skinned alien girl, new to Earth and trying to fit in, suddenly became the target of teenage cruelty. Whispers, laughter, glares. It was all too familiar. But what no one at Westridge High knew, not even the kids mocking her, was that this so-called freak wasn't just another exchange student. She was hiding a secret that could mean life or death for the entire planet. And when the truth came out, nothing would ever be the same. If stories like this hit you right in the curiosity bone, stick around, because it only gets crazier from here. And hey, while you're here, drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and share this with a friend who loves sci-fi with a human twist. It really helps more than you think, and it keeps these wild stories coming your way. The cafeteria at Westridge High was always noisy at lunchtime. Trays clattered, sneakers squeaked, and laughter echoed off the pale yellow walls. It was a place where friendships were made, rumors spread faster than wildfire, and the food, well, nobody came here for the food. At the far corner, a girl with pale, almost silvery skin sat alone. Her eyes shimmered with a faint violet glow, and her hair, long and black, shimmered like strands of midnight oil under the fluorescent lights. She picked at the sandwich on her tray, barely eating. Her name was Lyra. At least that was the name she gave. People said she had transferred from somewhere overseas, but even the teachers stumbled when pressed for details. Lyra's presence at Westridge sparked endless whispers. She never spoke unless asked a question directly. She never joined sports, clubs, or gossip. She was just there, until the moment that changed everything. You can't sit here, scum. The voice belonged to Brad Mallory, star of the football team and self-proclaimed king of the cafeteria. His friends chuckled behind him, eager to see what kind of show he was about to put on. Brad slapped his tray onto the table, right across from Lyra, the mashed potatoes splattering slightly. Lyra froze, her violet eyes flicking up, calm yet sad. The entire cafeteria seemed to fall silent. Conversations halted. Even the hum of the soda machine felt muted. Everyone waited for her reaction. But Lyra said nothing. She simply lowered her gaze again, as if Brad's insult was nothing new. That's when another voice cut in. "Leave her alone, Brad." It wasn't loud. It wasn't threatening. But it carried weight. Every head turned to the back of the cafeteria, where a lanky boy with messy brown hair stood, tray in hand. His name was Jason Carter. Average student, average athlete, nobody particularly special, except for the fact that he was now challenging Brad Mallory. Brad smirked. "Oh look, it's Captain Nobody. What, you got a crush on the freak?" Jason's ears went red, but he didn't back down. He walked forward and set his tray beside Lyra. "I'm just saying, maybe don't be a jerk for once. She's done nothing to you." The laughter spread across the room. Kids whispered. Some were amused, some shocked, but most kept their heads down. Nobody wanted to be caught in Brad's crossfire. Lyra glanced at Jason for the first time. Her eyes glowed faintly brighter, studying him. There was something in her expression, a flicker of curiosity, maybe even gratitude. Brad leaned across the table, towering over Jason. "You think you can talk to me like that? You think you can play hero?" Jason swallowed but kept his ground. "I think you should eat your lunch and leave her alone." For a moment it seemed Brad might swing. His fist clenched, his jaw tightened, but then, "Mr. Mallory, Mr. Carter, my office now." The principal's voice cut through the tension. Principal Harris, a tall, sharp-eyed man in a gray suit, stood at the cafeteria door, his arms folded. He had been watching the entire scene. A collective gasp swept the room. Everyone knew when Harris got involved. Things got serious. Jason grabbed his tray, gave Lyra a quick nod, and followed Harris. Brad muttered something under his breath, but he obeyed too, his football buddies snickering as they trailed back to their seats. Lyra remained still, but her eyes never left Jason's back as he disappeared out the door. In the principal's office, the tension was thicker than the smell of coffee and old books. Harris closed the blinds, shut the door, and motioned for the two boys to sit. He studied them for a long moment before finally speaking. "Do you two have any idea what you've just done?" His tone was calm, but there was steel in it. Brad scoffed. "What, for standing up to the alien freak?" Jason's stomach dropped. "Wait, what did you just say?" Harris's eyes flicked sharply to Brad, then back to Jason. "Enough. Both of you need to understand something. Lyra isn't just another student. She's here because she has to be here. And if either of you draws the wrong kind of attention to her, this school won't just be in trouble. This entire city could be at risk." Jason blinked. "What are you talking about? She's just different." Harris leaned forward, lowering his voice. "She's not from overseas. She's not even from this planet." The words hung in the air like a thunderclap. Brad's face went pale, his smug grin evaporating. Jason's heart pounded in his chest. He thought about the sadness in Lyra's eyes, the glow that seemed too alive to be human. The world suddenly felt a lot bigger, and Jason realized for the first time that sitting down beside her in the cafeteria might have been the most important decision of his life.
Jason couldn't stop replaying the principal's words in his head. She's not even from this planet. The rest of the day passed in a blur. Teachers spoke, but Jason barely heard them. His friends cracked jokes in class, but he didn't laugh. All he could think about was Lyra, the quiet girl who ate lunch alone, the girl Brad tormented, the girl who apparently wasn't human. That night, Jason lay awake staring at the ceiling of his small bedroom. His mind wrestled with questions. If Lyra was alien, why was she here? Why would the school, or even the government, let her sit in a cafeteria like some normal exchange student? And most of all, what danger was Principal Harris hinting at? The next morning, Jason found his answer. It started when a loud boom shook the ground beneath Westridge High. Students screamed as lockers rattled, and ceiling tiles fell loose. Teachers rushed kids into hallways, shouting for order. Jason stumbled with the crowd, but then he saw her. Lyra stood perfectly still in the middle of the chaos, her violet eyes glowing brighter than ever. She wasn't scared. She was ready. Before Jason could ask what was happening, Lyra turned and met his gaze. "Follow me," she said, her voice calm but commanding. Jason hesitated, but his gut told him not to argue. He broke from the crowd and ran after her. They darted down the east wing, past the gym, and through a locked door Lyra somehow opened with a mere touch of her palm. Behind it was a stairwell Jason never knew existed. "Where are we going?" he panted. "Beneath," Lyra said simply. "To the place built to hide me." They descended into darkness, the sounds of chaos above fading into silence. At the bottom, Jason saw a steel vault door, humming with strange energy. Lyra pressed her hand against it. With a hiss, it opened. Inside was something Jason would never forget. It wasn't just a room. It was a chamber, massive, filled with glowing blue pillars, humming machinery, and walls etched with alien markings. It felt alive, like the entire space was breathing. Jason's mouth dropped. What is this place?" Lyra finally turned fully toward him. "My ship, or what's left of it. They hid it here when I was brought to Earth." Jason blinked. "You mean you crashed here?" Her expression darkened. "No, I was sent. I am not here by accident. I am here because something else is coming." Jason's stomach twisted. Something else. Before Lyra could answer, a cold, familiar voice echoed from behind them. Well, looks like I found the freak's hiding spot." "Brad." He stood in the doorway, holding something that made Jason's blood run cold, a strange, jagged device pulsing with red light. He shouldn't have known about this place. He shouldn't even have been able to open the stairwell. Lyra's eyes narrowed. "Who gave that to you?" Brad smirked, though his hand trembled as he held the device. "Let's just say you're not the only alien hanging around here. And they made me an offer. Power. Control. All I had to do was keep an eye on you." Jason's heart sank. Betrayal. The threat Harris warned about wasn't just from outside. It was already inside the school. The device pulsed faster. A low rumble shook the chamber. Lyra stepped forward, her voice sharp. "Brad, you don't know what you're holding. That's not power. It's a beacon. You've just told them where we are." Brad's smirk faltered. "What are you talking about?" Before she could explain, the air split open with a piercing shriek. A tear in reality itself opened in the center of the chamber, swirling with crimson light. Shapes began to emerge, shadowy, clawed, inhuman. Jason grabbed Lyra's arm. "What do we do?" Lyra's violet eyes glowed like fire. "We fight, or Earth dies." Jason's throat went dry, but he nodded. Somehow, deep down, he knew this was what sitting with her at that cafeteria table had led to. Not just friendship, not just defiance against a bully, but a battle that could decide the fate of the entire planet. And for the first time, Lyra didn't look alone anymore. And that's where we'll leave it for now. One human, one alien, and an entire planet hanging in the balance. Jason thought he was just defending a quiet girl from a bully. Instead, he uncovered a secret buried beneath his school that could reshape the galaxy. So what happens next? Can Jason and Lyra hold off the invaders? Can Brad be redeemed, or is his betrayal the start of Earth's downfall? If you enjoyed this story, smash that like button, subscribe for more HFY adventures, and share this video with someone who loves a good human versus the universe tale. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.